The trial of 5 men accused of the murder of Bafana Bafana captain Senzo Meyiwa is expected to resume at the High Court in Pretoria today. Chriselda Lewis is standing by for an update for us. Chriselda, you were saying in the headlines that there's a new development.
Well, that's right, Desiree. Remember, this is not quite the resumption of the trial itself. The murder trial will resume in September of this year. But remember, this particular date, the 12th of July, had been set aside by this court to basically hear arguments on a jurisdiction of this matter. Remember, Advocate Malesela Teffo, who is the representative for accused number 1 to 4, had basically said that this court does not have the jurisdiction to try this matter, and it should have been heard at the South Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg. Remember, the basis for what he had said was that this matter had taken place in Vosloorus, where the crime itself had been committed, and he had basically questioned why the North Gauteng High Court, which is this one in Pretoria, was hearing this particular matter, and had basically said that today he would put forward that argument about why this court is not the right court to be trying this particular matter. But as a court had adjourned the last time, I think roundabout earlier this month, Advocate Malesela Teffo had basically launched an application, or had basically approached the National Director of Public Prosecutions, in which now we understand this morning he is likely to formally inform the court that he wants charges to be dropped against his clients. That's accused number 1 to 4. Basically what he is saying is that some of his clients had basically given confessions under duress. They had been assaulted allegedly by police, and also indicates that some of his clients had already been in prison, convicted on other matters, so they could have no way played a part in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. So we're expecting this morning him to formally inform this court that he plans to bring this application, wanting the charges against his clients to be dropped. But we've not had any word at this particular stage from the National Director of Public Prosecutions, or the NPA for that matter, on whether they have made a decision pertaining to this request by Advocate Malesela Teffo to basically have these charges dropped against their clients. So that's what we're expecting here today. No clarity in terms of how long we will be here. We also want to hear from the state on whether they have received that application, or that letter in which Advocate Malesela Teffo indicates he wants these charges to be dropped. No decision yet, as far as we understand, from the National Director of Public Prosecutions about this request for this acquittal. However, again, you would recall the last time that we were inside this court, Advocate Zandile Mshololo, who is representing accused number 5, basically when court had adjourned to the murder trial itself, which will resume in September, she'd basically asked for particulars, wanting to know from the Director of Public Prosecutions at the South Gauteng High Court whether there's been a decision on the second docket in this particular matter, docket 375. Remember, in that particular docket, it lists others such as Kelly Kumalo, Longwe Twala, as well as Kelly Kumalo's sister and mother, as the individuals who should be charged with the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. So what we heard the last time, Desiree, was that the Director of Public Prosecutions in the South Gauteng Division had not yet made a decision pertaining to that matter. So when court had been postponed the last time, Advocate Zandile Mshololo had indicated that in between the point at which the court itself had adjourned and the next time that we come back here in September for the resumption of the trial, she wants to know from the Director of Public Prosecutions, South Gauteng High Court Division, what decision has been taken pertaining to this second docket, which has been a massive bone of contention. Remember, there have also been questions asked about why one docket had been brought before this court and not the other. The National Prosecuting Authority was also asked to explain, and then hence we got that decision from the Director of Public Prosecutions of the South Gauteng Division indicating that no decision had been taken. So the next couple of months are going to be extremely interesting. But for here this morning, we're not expecting expecting issues regarding the jurisdiction to be argued. However, what we're expecting Advocate Malesela Teffo to do is to formally inform this court that he has written to the National Director of Public Prosecutions wanting the charges against his 4 clients to be dropped.
Chriselda, of course, will await to see what transpires in court. I just want to ask you one question, and you may or may not be able to respond to this, but we're hearing that the African Transformation Movement, ATM, has roped in Advocate Malesela in the Phala case. Do we know anything about this?
Unfortunately, Desiree, I might not have the full details pertaining to that particular matter.
Chriselda, thank you so much. Of course, as I said, we'll be watching to see what transpires in the Pretoria High Court this morning. Thank you so much for setting the scene for our senior reporter there, Chriselda Lewis.